I'm Jarek91 on the e-cigarette forums, e-cigaretteforums.com. Yes, there are hyphens in there. So I finally got my e-cig in. It's Gemini from Revolver. Basically, it's a 510. Comes with both a manual, as you can see here, and an automatic battery. Has very, very nice PCC. You know, nice matte black, kind of a rubbery feel to it. The PCC itself has slots for both batteries, one cart and atomizer, and then a place to hold 5 other carts. Now, I actually have no need for that many carts, but I do like carrying a spare atomizer. And if you're very careful with how hard you press it in, I don't know if you can see it in this light, but I do have the other cart in here, the other atomizer in here. It's in one of the front cart slots. What I did was put it threaded side down and pressed it just barely in, just enough so that it's held in place, but it's not actually, crushing the atomizer or, damaging the opening for the cart hole in case I decide to use it for a cart. Now, one of the things I do like about this case is you don't have to screw the battery in if you want it to charge. You just press down. Battery light there shows, and then you get a nice, really bright LED on the side, lights up as long as it's charging. When the LED on the side goes off, it's done. Pretty simple. The carts actually hold a good amount of liquid. They're fairly long. Let's see if I can get this to come out of here. Pretty decent size. I've already done the PTB mod on this, and that's Pyramid Tea Bag if you haven't been on the forums and checked that out. Holds about 16 to 18 drops of juice. Wicks really well that way. Really, really like it. This one's actually starting to run pretty dry, so I don't know how well it's going to vape. It's starting, like I said, starting to run pretty dry. It usually vapes a bit better than that. Like most 501s, if you're using pure PG like I am right now, you're not going to get huge, massive amounts of vapor like you could off of some mods, or if you have more VG in your mix. Does what I want it to do. Right now I'm using 2 different juices mixed together. I'm using Rush and VS4 from Vapor Station, using about a 70-30 mix. It's about 70% of the VS4, which is their version of the RY4 juice. And then Rush, which is, it's actually almost kind of flowery in flavor, but I find if I put just, 3 or 4 drops in of the Rush, it adds a little more kick than what you would get off of straight VS4 or RY4, but still keeps a lot of smoothness, so it's really, really nice. I have not done a lot of testing with juices yet. I've only had my e-cig for 5 days now, so still experimenting with things, still trying it out. So far, really good. Definitely, when you start using one of these, make sure that when you decide it's time to vape a little bit, that you have some water or something to drink handy. I noticed for about the first 3 days of using this, my mouth and throat were a little sore, a little dry. Constantly had in my mouth and tongue were constantly kind of numb and tingly, almost as if I had sprayed it full of chloroseptic. If any of you happen to remember what that is, or like I have chain smoked an entire pack of cloves. So once I started drinking some fluids while vaping, that went away, and actually I can vape a good bit now without having to constantly take drinks between vapes and not have that same feeling. But definitely a good thing to remember. Beyond that, I don't have much more to say about this right now other than I really, really like this setup. I do like the fact that it comes with a smart PCC. The charging case will turn itself off when the battery that's in there is charged, rather than continue trying to charge the battery, which you would normally get off of most 510 PCCs. And, of course, the results of that are the case ends up draining itself if you don't pay attention to it and, get your battery out. So Not as flashy a case as far as their other offering, which is the Elite, which is, I believe, an M702, M402. I don't remember. Anyway, it has a nice little LED display on the front and really flashy. I actually prefer this a little better, though I do wish the LED wasn't quite so bright on the side, because really, I mean, that's a little ridiculous. I mean, you can see just how bright it is. It's kind of silly. Definitely gets your attention, though. So, for a quick little short, here's a review. Like there aren't 500,000 other reviews on products out there. This is mine. The Gemini seems to be a pretty good product. Customer support's pretty responsive. Usually takes them less than a day to get back to an email or feedback that you leave on their site. I've not actually had to call them, but I had a friend of mine who has also ordered one of these that called, said they were really, really nice. Um, they answered all of his questions, helped him out, with some of the things he was concerned with, and actually his should be in soon, and maybe we'll get him as a member on the ECF and see where we can go from there. So anyway, not so much of a rant other than analogs do suck. I tried one last night, and wow, that was bad. So anybody you know on analogs, definitely, if you get a chance, point them in the direction of the ECF, let them do some reading, let them do some research, and see if possibly getting on the vaping will help them get away from those things. So that's it for now. Catch you later.